Today, we're diving into the finale of Pluribus, and wow, this slow-burn sci-fi just dropped one of the most jaw-dropping season enders I've seen in a long time. So if you had a theory about what was going to happen, yeah, get ready to just throw it right out the window, because this episode changed everything.
Okay, so let's just get right into it. The writers did something pretty incredible here. They masterfully build up this whole new reality for our main character, and then just completely shatter it a few minutes later. I mean, we are talking about a jaw-dropping betrayal, a brand new ticking clock, and a cliffhanger that, yes, literally ends with a bang.
So the episode kicks off with Carol, and she's finally free. She's figured it out. The hive mind needs her consent to assimilate her. So what does she do? She decides to build her own personal paradise, right in the middle of this world full of drones.
And at first, it's a total dream come true. She's out there golfing, she's stealing priceless art, setting off fireworks, all while chugging an endless supply of beer. But that dream, it goes south, and it goes south fast. The loneliness of her situation just becomes completely unbearable, and she actually surrenders. She ends up begging Zosa and the hive mind to come back.
This gets into some really fascinating and frankly dark psychology. What we're watching here is basically a form of Stockholm syndrome unfolding on screen. Think about it. In a world with zero real connection, Zosa becomes her only companion. And she starts to find this twisted sense of comfort, even a strange kind of love, with her captor. It makes her surrender both tragic and, in a really disturbing way, completely understandable.
But right when Carol finds this twisted version of happiness, a new player enters the game, and that's Manusos. He has traveled all the way from Paraguay with one mission: save the world. This puts him on a direct collision course with Carol, who, at this point, just wants to escape it.
And for a minute there, Carol actually gets her wish. She and Zosa are traveling the world, living out what looks like a perfect romance. But come on, this is Pluribus. We know that happiness is built on a foundation of lies, and it is all about to come crashing down thanks to one devastating confession.
Okay, this right here is where you see the hive mind's cold, alien logic in full effect. Zosa reveals the ultimate betrayal. They found a loophole. A simple little movement sensor from Carol's past tipped them off, and that allowed them to access her preserved eggs. So by harvesting stem cells from those eggs, they could say they technically never touched her body. They got exactly what they needed while claiming they honored her consent. It's a horrifying violation disguised as a clever workaround.
And just like that, boom, the game has totally changed. Carol's immunity? It was all a lie. The clock is ticking again, and she has just 1 month left before she's gone for good. So, with her fantasy world completely destroyed for a second time, a betrayed, hardened Carol knows she only has one option left. She's got to head back to New Mexico and find the one person who still wants to fight, Manusos.
But she doesn't just, drive up in a car. No, she makes an entrance, a helicopter. And get this, it's piloted by Zosa, of all people. Comes down on this quiet suburban street. It lowers a massive, mysterious container right onto the asphalt, and then just banks away into the night.
I mean, talk about cinematic tension. This moment is just perfect. Manusos is watching, we're watching, and everyone is asking the exact same question. What on earth is in that box that needs a helicopter to deliver it?
It's an atom bomb. I'm going to pause there. That's not a metaphor. It's not a code name. Carol has brought an actual, literal nuclear weapon to the fight. And on that absolutely stunning, jaw-on-the-floor reveal, the season cuts to black, leaving us on maybe the biggest, most world-altering cliffhanger ever.
Okay, so now that we've recapped that completely insane plot, let's kind of pull back a bit and talk about why this show works so well. See, it's deliberate, slow burn pacing. That's not a bug, it's a feature. It's the very thing that makes this finale hit like a ton of bricks. Think about it. So much of modern sci-fi feels this need to hold your hand, with constant action, spoon-feeding you exposition. Pluribus is different. It trusts its audience. It gives us this terrifyingly simple premise: what if humanity lost free will? And then it has the confidence to just let that horror and drama build up in our own minds. It respects our intelligence enough to let us grapple with the big questions ourselves. So, all right, there's a nuke on the table. Where in the world can the show possibly go from here? I mean, the stakes have never, ever been higher. Let's dig into a pretty compelling theory for what Season 2 might have in store for us.
So,
This whole theory hinges on that mysterious radio frequency Manusos was messing with. What if it's not a cure to wake people up? What if it's the exact opposite? The idea is that this frequency is like the psychic glue being broadcast all over the planet. It's the very thing keeping the hive mind connected. Now, if that's true, the mission for Season 2 becomes terrifyingly simple, right? Find the source of that signal, use the nuke to shut it off, and boom, you sever the hive mind's connection and free humanity. But, as the show constantly reminds us, the simplest solution is often the most dangerous one.
Just think about the consequences for a second. Billions of people would instantly get their minds back, only to be hit with the crushing grief of losing their loved ones. The source material actually points out that nearly 1 billion people have died since the takeover. The emotional devastation, it would just be incomprehensible.
And according to the books, that sudden shock and all the inevitable finger-pointing could easily just explode into global chaos. This wouldn't be liberation. It could be the start of a brand new world war, with what's left of humanity just tearing itself apart.
And that leaves us with the terrifying question that's going to hang over all of Season 2. What if freeing humanity is the very thing that actually destroys it? It's an impossible choice. The only way to save the world might be to leave it in chains. I guess we'll just have to wait and see what they decide.